This time we Yerushalmi Shabbos, the article Ozva edition with Mamish Atap Samach Amrav, Rabbi B'Shem Ravuna, and in the Vilna we're about halfway down Mem Tes Amud Aleph. If you count the lines to the bottom, it's 20 lines to the bottom of the page. And so yesterday we brought down one Memra of Rabbi B'Shem Ravuna about Shabbos. Now we'll bring down other Memras of Rabbi B'Shem Ravuna about Hilchos Shabbos. And first one is Rabbi B'Shem Ravuna said, "Kele Beisa Uman." Your garments from the house of the craftsman. Lovashon, you wear them. Is kareh is kareh. So the Pnei Moshe explains. Sheviulo, okay, basically when sheviulo, they brought to you. Vadayin lo lovashon, you haven't yet worn them. Vaynu yodeh, any yodeh, sorry, you don't know. Imayu mechubanim mechudas, you don't know if they're made to your proper measure. Abba b'chein, even nevertheless, mutar lovashon b'Shabbos. He's kareh if they get ripped. Because they're dragged on the ground or something like that, he's kareh. They'll get ripped. Now, even it seems that even that ripping becomes beneficial for him because rips down to his measure. Nevertheless, that's not his intent. So therefore, it's davashem miskaben, impermissible. B'Shem Ravuna said, "What if your garments got entangled in thorns? Harei mefash memokum tzina." You were allowed to move them in a from Malcolm Matzina. Moshe says that you're allowed to move the ones even if they're hidden inside your garment, and I guess they are deeply embedded. Garment, which seems more likely, he says that you should do it in a place where people aren't watching you. In other words, people might think you're being Masakin Mana, so therefore you should do it in a place where you should go there and you can go there and remove the thorns. As long as you don't deliberately rip the garment. If mud falls on your garment, you can remove it with one hand. Evidently, two hands is too much like cleaning. So this is Yod Achas. Moshe is actually a shinoi. The uvad so you don't rub, because you rub, you're going to get off not just the super surface mud, which is, but rather not the mud which is, I guess, on top of the surface, but the mud which is kind of adhering to the garment, which would actually be mechabes, which would be also to do because of cleaning on Shabbos. Rabbi Yerushalmi Ravuna said, "Hahen nago, ninar." Sorry, hahen ninar to shake out garments. B'chad shari. One the Pnei Moshe says b'chad shari means pam achas. Do one time is mutter. With less of pamim also 3 times less says Pnei Moshe shemnano harbe mechse kimlabno. When you shake it out a lot, it looks like you are cleaning it. With tired pamim with tzricha. The 2 times we don't know. The Pnei Moshe says, "Sapki lon ishari." Also, we don't know if that is permitted or forbidden. Hahen desachi. Somebody who's washing himself off in the river. Ravuna Rav Chadam Arachen Shari Ba'achen Aser. This is so they demonstrated certain ways of toweling oneself off with a sheet or with a towel. This way is mutter and this way is asur. V'charona Amar, the other said, no, bein hachein, don't demonstrate different ways. They're all asur. The Rabbi Abba Bar Zmina, Mischei Rabbi Abba went into wash himself off. Im Rabbi Zir v'lo shavki abed lochein. He didn't let him do neither this way nor that way. So according to Pnei Moshe, it sounds like the issue is squeezing the hair on your body. According to the other Mefarshim, it seems like the issue is squeezing the towel, or it looks like cleaning the towel. In any event, it sounds like a chumrah which the Gemara came up with. I think the not to do it any which way. Naflu ma'im abagada. What if water fell on your garments? Ravuna Rabbi Yirmiyah, Chadam Bar Minar Shari, Rabbi Yirmiyah, and Machlekes one said to shake it off is permissible. Mimachka, and to smooth it off, is also. The other one said the other way around. This word seen in Korban Eidah on this one. It says Menara Shari, Mutar Menara Mayashal Gobgara, Machka Aser, the Nagva you're allowed according to Nagva Yado Beggar Aser. So to shake is okay. To smooth out its Aser. Chana Ida Machli, Menara Aser, to shake is Aser, Mexican Mechabes. Looks like you're cleaning. Machka Shari, and to go like that is okay. Lochash Yislit is not concerned that you actually got to squeeze and get the water out. Rabbi Bar Chia Bar Ashi, the Bar Chia Bar Ashi says that's okay. If somebody has to spit, he's allowed to absorb it in his garment in a kleshesh, not concerned that it looks like either he's going to be he's being mechabes or being sochit. Slit or kibbutz yard. Rabbi Bar Shem Rabbi Chia Bar Ashi said he's spoken Rabbi Chia Ruba Rabbi Shimon Rebbe. Really early on Maroim here. Here the great Rabbi Shimon said Rabbi argued. Chadamar rokek v'shaf. One said you can spit on the ground and smooth out the ground with your in order to absorb the spittle in the ground. The other said you can't say can't do it because it looks like you're actually looks like you're smoothing the ground, which is when is machlekes? When there's no stone floor, literally no mosaics. But if there's a stone floor, then you can spit and you can smooth out. Rokak, if you spit, haruach, and the wind scattered it. Chai mishum zora. It's a fascinating Yerushalmi. Because of Zorah, and the Yerushalmi brings down that the Rambam leaves us out, and the Ramah brings it down, and they brings down that it's Yerushalmi Shita holds there's Dosh even Shalobi Dule Karka, and it's not really karka, and there's still dash, and evidently Zorah being similar to dash would be also, according to Bavli, I guess only bigduli karka, according to Yerushalmi, even shlo bigduli karka. He explains the sheet, and it says chal davar shu mechutz ruach. The Mashgiach changed it to masul ruach, which is given over to the wind. Not sure about that. As chayim mishum Zorah, it says perish ruach mechasro, the wind. Deducts from it, and divides into small parts. Chai mishum Zorah. Yerushalmi K'Pshuta brings them for Rabbi Akiva Eiger, who's astonished how Zorah is shayach here, and he brings down from the Alfei Menashe that the chiyuv is because of Moitzi, not because of Zorah. Even though Yerushalmi says Zorah, but the Kiva is also is just a two Yerushalayim references. He doesn't actually bring it down, but that the comparison to Zorah is only in that we see that that which the wind assists you in doing malacha doesn't detract from your chiyuv for doing the malacha. Sorry, it's Rabbi Akiva Eiger in the name of Alfei Menashe. It's the Yerushalmi K'Pshuta himself in the name of Alfei Menashe. But the Yerushalmi K'Pshuta then says that seems not that way from the Yerushalmi itself. It seems that the sheet of the Yerushalmi is that any malacha which separates, which is done with through wind, is considered to be Zorah, which is obviously very different than anything we find in the Bavli. But I assume we're talking about a case where you actually, for some reason, want the spittle to be divided into little pieces. Obviously, otherwise, be a davar shem miskavin. That's it's not explicitly Yerushalmi. I would assume that to be the case. Those who have an article can see that this discussion somebody has brought out on in the Chilufei Yerusos Burin on Daf North and Daf Samachom Rav. Okay, Fabora. Rabbi Yehuda said Yeshu Bora Tzuras Kol Yom Ein Mischayev. There's somebody who can be separating pebbles all day and not be mischayev. Yeshu Noito Grogeres Miyad Umischayev. There's somebody who takes a Grogeres immediately and is chayev. So the Bnei Moshe says Yeshu Baruch Chule. Confers us. It goes on to explain. Hechabit, how does it work? Yeshu Agabi Krishel Tvua. He was sitting on top of a pile of grain. I feel burn menu tzoros kol yom. Even take pebbles out of it the entire day. Ain't mischayim, not chayim she ain't mischayim klum. That's a fascinating thing. It's not definitely not boiling down the body. You're not being fixed at all. Shiv shalavolo kol tzoros shabakri. You can't remove all the pebbles in silo. It's not possible. I'm not the other kashir kigogres. So you took it to your hand, the size of grogeres. Ubira tzoros manner. You took the tzoros out of that grogeres of food of grain. Menu chayim mishli lishisel metakin legamrei. That's fixing completely. Having a borah mischayim b'grogeres, and your borah and your chayim in a grogeres. That's what it says. Echavina yesh gabi kri v'borah tzoros kolayo. He's sitting there and taking up his petals all day, and mischayim not chayim. Not of yodo. You took it into your hand, kilogeres, that amount of grain, the beer, and you removed the pebbles. Chayim. Rabbi Yonah asks, "Asa kain b'Shabbos." So this is obviously we're talking about Shabbos here. So Pnei Moshe points out this is going on a different case. So let's read the Pnei Moshe. Rabbi Yonah boy chuli hach boy kaim asis in the parakam the beitza. It's going on the Mishnah, the first parak of beitza. Habar kinas biyontif. Is somebody's cleaning out beans on yontif. Pliga b'zeh beishamay beishilo. You take out the food and you eat. You can borrow the normal way. You can use do it in your lap. You can do it with these small vessels, which are not the specific for sifting and cleaning. But now with sieves and calanders, I think is the word, which are made for that purpose. And this sugya which you see here is there also. Mao l'shanos es kemach l'chrei napa. Can you do it with behind the sieve? And then now going on to Pnei Moshe asking Shabbos. So al daite beis Shammai. Mao shechayev. So again, let's see the Pnei Moshe beis Shammai the saber beyond the bora ochem mitoch absoles who the mutzer. Even you have to take ochel absoles, avlo absoles toch ochel, but not absoles out of ochel, not the refuse out of the food. If you brought absoles toch ochel b'Shabbos, if you take the absoles out of ochel on Shabbos, mal shechayev dir b'Shammai. Because b'Shammai is it a chiyuv d'oraisa, is it true malacha? Rabbi Yosef said v'lama lo. Why not? So let's see Pnei Moshe again. Mighty boylach, what are you asking? V'lama lo yischayev. Why are we not be chayev? If you did it the same thing in Shabbos, according to Beis Hillel, that would say Asur and Yontif. If you did with the sieve and the colander on Shabbos, Shemin Chayiv, not going to be Chayiv. So the going to be Yontif. Even if you did it without the professional tools, that would say Asur Yontif must have came to Shabbos Chayiv. So it says again, if you did what Beis Hillel Asur on Yontif and Shabbos, not Chayiv, and you're to Chayiv also. So yes, going to Yerushalmi Shabbos. Rabbi Mona said, Yos Amar Rabbi Yonah. It says here Abba with a hey, but this is Abba with and it should be Abba with an aleph. And interesting, Mashbiach brings down from here, I think, evidence. Just here, I am Mashbiach, but let me see if he actually says inside. No, I'm away from home, and I don't have, as you can tell from the background, but I don't have Mashbiach with me. By the other side of the Gemara, then, from here, there's evidence that you can call your father by his name if you say the word Abba with it, because you said Yonah Abba. I guess Mashbiach discussed it. Okay, I have the Mashbiach on my hard drive, so I looked it up, and he discusses this issue when he says it's possible that the raya, if you can say your father's name, you say Abba with it, and then he says perhaps suggests that Bobby argues in the Yerushalmi, and the Yerushalmi does not have the isser of calling a father by his name, regardless of whether it's said Abba or not. And that The Bavli holds it's also, and Yerushalmi holds it's not also. But anyway, he also has a possibility of saying that Abba here, Al Beis was actually Rosh Tevis, Beis Hillel. Beis Hillel lo Asya, El Beis Shammai. It doesn't seem that way. Anyway, so, but that was his alternative. So, in any event, so, Amar Rabbeinu Abba, the father said, Lo Asya El Beis Shammai. So his only question is only on Beis Shammai. So that which is mutter b'er b'Shabbos, mutter not mutter on Shabbos. So Rabaz says is only one side of this question here. So let's see Rabaz. Ad kan li bailon the Shabbos chayev lo dam. Well, actually, should be from the beginning. Yosem Rabbi Yonah Abba. So meaning they still hutar b'chlal b'rei b'yantiv. According to Beisel, Breira is mutter and yantiv. There is it's a chumrah not to use the kind of the special kalim, but it's mutter. So akal b'aylan the b'Shabbos chayev v'lodam yantiv. So according to him, it's no question. And Shabbos you're chayev. It's not so comparable to yantiv. Hava Beis Shammai mi b'aylan. According to Beis Shammai, question. Nisrei gankin dutim b'chlal b'rei b'yantiv. Does he also hold that Breira is mutter and yantiv? After the comment the actually shleim mishaniyah. So we changed as much as possible. Ulam ochet themselves chashuv gankin breira. And the ochet themselves is also considered breira, but on Shabbos, but you have to it's not a problem as long as you do some shit. Or they would say, let's really hutim milah breira b'yantiv. Or perhaps he goes, no, breira is not mutter on yantiv, even though it seems to be mutter ochel nefesh. Perhaps it's one of the stages is not mutter because of ochel nefesh. I said the ochel themselves lo chashuv breira. Cloud. It's just that you also have themselves not considered breira. So maybe it's not breira, and therefore on Yontif will be meko, but perhaps on Shabbos we're really machmir. Okay, so that's the question according to me. So we know breira is mutter on Yontif, and also on Shabbos. So whatever is mutter on Yontif will be also on Shabbos. But according to Beis Shammai, what's the story? Is breira mutter on Yontif, or is it actually also it's also it's just that this is not considered to be breira if you do ochel b'toch psolas. I don't know if I explained that well enough. Let me try that again. So the question: what does Beis Shammai hold that breira is mutter on Yontif, and therefore they're matter ochel b'toch psolas, but the on Shabbos be usher, and it would be chayev because there is no melacha borer on Yontif, but there's melacha of borer on Shabbos. Or do we say no that Beis Shammai holds his melacha borer on Yontif as well? It's just that ochel b'toch psolas is not considered to be borer, and therefore that would be okay on Shabbos. So that's the question. Or you go to Beis Shammai. So Yishan goes on to a new conversation. Bir ochel b'toch ochel. The bar ochel out of ochel. So Chizkiah Mar Chayev, Chizkiah, that's also chiyuv of breira. Even though you're taking food out of food, taking the food out of which you don't want to eat, out of the food which you do want to eat, is considered to be a form of borer. Rabbi Yochanan Mar Pater. Rabbi Yochanan says you're Pater. He says it's not, shouldn't do it, but you're not. It's not a chiyuv, and not a chiyuv to Raisa. Masisa B'Yad Chizkiah, the Brisa seems to argue Chizkiah. Tamar says, Borer v'ochel u'meniach al shulchan. It says you can be borer and eat, and I think I skipped one word, borer. Borer v'ochel borer meniach al shulchan. What do you mean borer meniach al shulchan? Sounds like you're allowed to leave the food on the table. Sounds like you can be mutter l'chatchila, but so it seems like you can leave borer and leave food on the table, and that would be you leave borer doch ochel. He says no. That is the whenever he's putting a table, the guests are eating immediately, so it's borer ochel miyad. Vatani. So the Gemara brings a brisa now. That which they write for Chizkiah. Ubachli Yavrakal also Amin. It says you shouldn't to separate that entire min. And it seems they're going in food from food. Vim also came with Shabbos Chayev. And if you do on Shabbos, you're Chayev. What it says in um, the um, the Bryce. I'm not sure if that's telling where the original Bryce could be said about a question mishpat when you're separating stuff. No, maybe it's just said about Yontif. It's not clear from here, and I don't see what the original discussion is about. It must be like Moshe said. I don't have a Bates in front of me. It must be a Bates talking about Yontif, and it's saying that you're now to believe even ochel mitoch ochel to remove one type of food completely from the other type of food. So so the in Shabbos it says you're chayav. So Adai Chizka Shkei Barber Shabbos chayav. Chizka makes sense. So because that's the should be Bar Kedaka for Shabbos. Adai Rabbi Yechanan. What about Rabbi Yechanan? What is he going to do this by? So Shkei Bar Kedaka b'makom. Here it says echad. But here it says the Karmeya says it should be makom acher chayav. Peshabar ochem mitop solis chayav. Since overdose solis chayav, leficha bir kol amin chayav chatos. Therefore, if you provide the entire mean, it's chayav chatos because evidently it makes that indicates it's like solis. Inami or else visha b'Shabbos bar overdose solis chayav chatos in bir kol amin b'yontif. It's not going yontif because also. So now even do on yontif be mevar the entire min. So because it's not actually going to be it's not ochel, but it's a special takar drabanan. So you might come to be baramamish. So therefore, even on Yontif on Shabbos, it'd be potter. And even Yontif though they didn't let you do it because you might come to be bar opsos mitoch ochel at the time. Okay, Daita Chizkiah, according to the opinion of Chizkiah, should be Daita Chizkiah. Maybe it's what Pineda says. This is afilu igulin, even to choose one size of date cake out of another size of date cake is osir. If you're being borrowed the one you don't want from the one you do want, afilu even pomegranates out of pomegranates. Okeni, or perhaps if that's the truth, afilu bnei nash mingavav bnei nash. Even to select people from other people and say, you go over there, I don't want you, that would be considered to be also a form of boreh. So the Bnei Moshe says, okay, I feel Bnei Nosh, Mingo Bnei Nash, also livar likrosa bitmiya, but they're guzor kamar. So this Gemara says that would be going too far. Maikadun. So what's the conclusion? So call Mamoide Lahad Rabbi Yirmi. Everybody agrees to that which Rabbi Yirmi says. Rabbi Yirmi Havale Orchin. Rabbi Yirmi had guests, and he put Api commanded to Musin Upsilion. He put in front of them the turmusin, which is a type of legume, and psilion. So the psilion sounds like it's psolis. He said, "Havun da'atchem datum michu kisaya besufa." So he said, make sure that you don't eat the twigs at the end. So that's the Korban Eidah, and it's not clear according to the Korban Eidah exactly how this how this relates to the previous Gemara. So the Ritbaz and the others say here that we're talking about it's ochel mitoch ochel, and he's saying if you're doing ochel mitoch ochel it's mutter. So he said to them, hov daitchen datun mechu. You're going to eat. Not when don't be careful not to eat them. He's saying you're going to eat kisai b'soifer. So the Ritbaz says. He says his gears was kunrisin. For me, tumus gufe. It's part of tumus. It's like big the pomegranates and pomegranates. The bunny we talk shkorim. The kunosim min tumus have it kumori moni. When they shiru kunosim basof. Shiru kunosim yadoy nichen ala sof. Levar tchil tumus acher ama the min acher. Well, anyway, I'm not going to read most of it inside. It's only us. It basically says it's only us or two meaning, but if it's the same meaning and there are different top parts of it, so then that's okay. So therefore, if it's the basically we're saying it's a seder achila. You have food on your plate. You want to eat first one part of that and another part of it, and another part afterwards. So then you can select. I'm going to eat first this part, the tumusin, and the kisaya I'm going to eat later on. And not sure actually mechuyev to eat the kisaya, but it says you have to have in mind to eat the kisaya at the end. And the Shai Torah says that you're going to eat the seeds. Right? It's a similar idea. It says then you're going to eat all the seeds. You can take the good seeds from the bad seeds. You have in mind to eat seeds. So in any that's also to be ochel mitoch ochel because it's all seeds, and you have in mind to eat seeds. So in any event, somehow or another, this is telling us that if you're doing it in a normal way of eating it, so then you can choose what food on the plate you're going to eat. So along those lines, those are farshim are obviously not learning psilai to be psilas mamish. Either the tumusim means the good tumus beside the tumus and the better tumus and the lesser tumus, or some other type of configuration, but not psilas mamish because the whole issue here is ochel mitoch ochel. And the question is what the difference is between the psilai and the kisaya. Kisaya, not sure, but it's all ochel mitoch ochel. Okay, I see I made a mistake when I read the Shai Torah Eretz Yisrael. I read my Uncle Mar read it as if it says Garinim. It doesn't say Garinim, it says Hagruim. So this way, so again, just to repeat it, it says that he says, have in mind you're going to eat the inferior ones, the Gruim, and then you're allowed to be Mavara, the good ones, out of the bad ones, again, because it's Seder Achila. So, again, according to him, according to everybody, it seems, except for the Korban Eder, Psilai means the inferior ones. And I want to read it again. Everybody agrees to Avyam Havle Orkin, he had a guest. Apikumak Tumusin, Psilai, he took the better Tumusin and the worse Tumusin. He said, have in mind you'll eat the inferior ones at the end. And I guess if you're not satisfied with I think that's the way I look at it. If you're not going to be satisfied with the good ones, so of course you're going to eat the inferior ones at the end. Maybe you're satisfied before you get to them. But the inferior ones are also part of the food on your plate. And then you can select the better ones and eat them first, and then leave the inferior ones, and then you eat at the end. So that type of ochel mitoch ochel is permitted. Okay, Tani, we learned ein borin lo tochtin v'lo markidin. You can't do borer, you can't grind, and you can't be meraked, that's sifting. Borer hatoche meraked b'Shabbos niskal. If you do anything on Shabbos, you get skila. B'yontev stovik as harboim, if you do it on Yontev, you get malchus, like any other malach on Yontev. For Atninan, didn't we learn that on Yontev borer kedarko, you can do normal borer b'chiko v'tamchoi, on your lap or even in a pan. That which it says you get malchus is a Ren Gamliel. He holds that the Ren Gamliel av mediach v'sholeh. It says Korban Eda she'enu mati vor el diach. He says you're not allowed to do action burning on them. All you're allowed to do is rinse. You're not allowed to. So therefore, according to him. You're not allowed to do borer on Yontif. So Gemara is going to ask a question on this, but we're already up to Samach Aleph, so therefore we'll leave the questions for tomorrow.